Out there and try and educate the Muslim community and the non-Muslims alike, it's important that you're aware of what this is all about. Now, before I start, inshallah, I want to actually share a little secret with you. For the brothers on this side, you better duck your head because my wife might throw some shoes. And that is that I have a love affair. The love affair is actually with this campaign. Now, I want this to be that infectious that by the end of my session, I want you to share that love affair. I want you to be in love with it as much as I am. Now, it's not going to be possible for me to complete this in a couple of minutes. Thank you, Mohammed. But I'll do my best, inshallah. My name's up there as the custodian. Okay? I'm the Emir coordinator. But the true people that will benefit from this are the stakeholders, are the shareholders. And those people are you. This is your project. This is your campaign. It's not mine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me the opportunity to actually be the custodian, the coordinator, the Emir. But this is your project. And I want you to benefit from it. And the only way you're going to do that is to actually support it the way Human Appeal is supporting us. They supported us last year and they're supporting us again this year so that we can deliver what we want, inshallah. We'll go to the next screen. Our vision. Our vision is very simple. It encompasses a couple of ideals. The ideal of unity. It's important that we unite. It's important that we educate. It's important that we deliver awareness. And it's important that we use Ramadan as a medium to improve the character. Our character, which then will flow into our community. And then inshallah be showing examples for others to follow. And want and desire what we know is so important in our life. Because Islam, we breathe it, we live it. Everything about us, everything we do. When I reverted to Islam, it was a complete change. Everything I did before, to some degree, was null and void. But the experience has been absolutely beautiful. And I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me that opportunity to be a Muslim. And inshallah, He will actually bless this gathering here tonight. Why RAC? We'll go into a little more detail, but in point form, we strengthen the Muslim identity, and I'll show you how and why. Our affiliation is neutral. We're not political, we're not factional. It's important for us to be neutral so that the wider community benefits and actually takes part in this campaign. We're a medium for awareness. We educate and we make the people aware, not just of Ramadan, but also of Islam in general. And lastly, we have the ability to influence people in the right manner and empower them. Our main source of communication and education is our website. It had a facelift for those tradesmen, a rendering a couple of years ago. Last year alone, we received 1.5 million hits for the website. In fact, it was 1.58 to be closer to the fact.
Allah.
We've used this website and we've had phenomenal response. Last year we had a request from a country to actually have information converted to their lingo to benefit their community. And that's inspiring. We seriously have been able to penetrate the globe. We are showcasing Australia's capability. There are brothers and sisters out there that are helping behind the stage, that have been helping out there, that are sitting in this audience, that have all contributed to RAC in past years, and inshallah in future years. And because of them, and you could probably see the map fairly well, there's not much white. Most of the globe has actually referenced our website. To be exact, 184 countries last year alone referenced our website. 62,000 unique visitors just last year alone. Because of our website, I had an email from a family in Dubai. They have a child that has excelled in various charity organisation work and in academia. And they asked how they, as a family, could be involved, particularly the child, as a volunteer to help us, from Dubai. We spoke about strengthening the Muslim identity. So how do we do that? There are three ways. The first way, school presentations. Last year alone, on average, we had 400 children sitting in front of our presenters. We're invited to the schools through the scripture program in New South Wales, and we can present to them about Ramadan, teach them the beauty of Islam, and encourage them. And then the minority, the Muslims sitting around these students, they get a buzz. They feel proud of who they are. The teachers are then well versed, and they understand what Ramadan's about. There was a brother in particular, last year was his first year that he actually presented. And he presented to 900 children. At the end of the presentation, kids surrounded him asking him questions. I personally had an experience where I presented at a school. A few months later, I'm back in that school teaching scripture. And a teacher sees me in the corridor. They pull me up and they say they'd just like to thank me for those beautiful words I shared on that day. That so many months later, they are still affected by the words we shared. That is the ability to empower people. That is the ability to strengthen the Muslim identity. We then have the scooters. Last year was our first year. We have these A5 frame scooters driving around Muslim areas on every Friday during Ramadan. Then they go out through the arterial roads into the city, into Parramatta, in well-populated areas, addressing the theme of that campaign for that year. People come up, they're intrigued. What's this about? Oh, just go to the website. This year, not only are we going to be in Sydney, but we're going to be in Melbourne. And not only are we just going to have the A5 frames, we're also going to be giving them a postcard, actually inviting them to an improved way of life through Islam, inshallah. That's the power we have. And I hope that your love affair is growing and that you can appreciate while I'm in love with this campaign. We then have the awards ceremony. Last year, in this auditorium, we invited students that participated in a competition during the month of Ramadan, and they were awarded for their contribution to that campaign, to that competition. How often do you get an opportunity where kids do something Islamic and they get rewarded, and they get an award and a gift? It's an absolute buzz. We spoke about awareness and education. Awareness through the scooters, it's a definite. We then have show bags, 30,000 show bags Australia-wide. Most states, not Northern Territory, receive our show bags. In those show bags, we have a fridge chart, such as the one that will be in the show bags this year, giving you some education, something that you can remind yourself you can read on a daily basis. We then have a small booklet that you can keep with you during the day to help you make the most of your Ramadan. We then have a flyer from Human Appeal to encourage you about this effect. We then have a little activity book from One for Kids and Zaki, right for the children, all encompassing. Sorry, it's a bit hard. Then we have lectures like here today. And on top of that, we have a media release, where we send out a media release at the beginning of Ramadan to almost 300 radio stations and TV stations combined, advising them that Ramadan is starting. Then on top of that, at the end of Ramadan, when Eid starts, we inform them again, another 300 go out, telling them, hey, Eid's on. This is the power we have, brothers and sisters. This is why I'm running the campaign, and inshallah you'll be too. This year, the theme is Give to Get. Now, the immediate response I receive is charity. No, it's not that. It's a lot more. Give to Get in Islam, from my perspective, surrounds us day in, day out, in every action. When you give your hand to a brother in a handshake, you get the wiping of the sins away. When you feed a fasting person, you get the same reward. When you smile, you get a good deed. It goes on. It's all encompassing. We're surrounded. It's reiterated consistently to us. And more importantly, our core projects don't change. We try and expand. For example, with the presentations, last year it was predominantly Sydney-based. This year with the presentations, we're going to Wollongong. We're going to Newcastle. They were going to be